Doug does not know when to bring the big balls until like it starts getting cold out. Because yesterday, obviously, everyone, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it in a little bit, the conversions, the 2 point conversions going, and I think more so for me, it's the choosing of when to use it. So like they consistently keep doing it after the first touchdown, right? And then it's the terrible play calls, going with the read option on both of the 2 point conversions with Jalen Hurts, and then the other one for to lose the game. Now, why wouldn't you pass the ball in that situation? Give Carson Wentz to give these receivers the opportunity to try to win this game for you. There's some positives in this game, but again, this is back-to-back weeks. You took a good team down to the wire and you just couldn't finish.
Yep. Hey, listen, just in case you're just joining us, because we were using some new software, we upgraded today, so I'm not sure if everybody got on the right way or not, and people are watching or not watching. But they listen. Yeah, we're at Birds Breakdown. We're week 6. We're definitely talking about what happened yesterday. And we did a little sweet. We started ahead of time thinking that things were rolling, and then of course, learning new software and stuff like that. It's okay though. Yeah. But I appreciate everybody for stopping by and checking us out. Obviously, everybody knew that I was at the game yesterday. I had a number of different things going on. And actually, I have somebody else coming here shortly to talk about it from the other bird. I actually brought a Ravens fan with me
from the flock.
And he's my cousin, so I had to bring him. And his father was my favorite. Was my the biggest Eagles fan I knew growing up. So I felt obligated to bring him when the Ravens were playing, and of course they won, and he was trying to start fights with all the Eagles fans out there. That's actually not true, but I was, I definitely had to.
Was on social media too.
I had to get a little nervous. Hey, listen, we were not that group.
Oh, I know you were.
We were not that group.
From what it looked like, you were far, far away from
Yeah, that was definitely, and it looked to me like it was all Eagles fans fighting. It didn't look to me like there was any Ravens fans in that mix. It looked like all Eagles fans there. But
can I ask you, why are they allowing away fans in stands?
Well, because anybody can buy the tickets. So, and I buy my tickets. So I am not a season ticket holder.
Okay.
So I have to buy my tickets just like everybody else buys their tickets. I got to buy them through StubHub or SeatGeek or some other way. And that becomes a lot more difficult, when to have all Eagles fans in there, because all the tickets are being sold that way, and that's the thing. So you're gonna have challenges having a fully Eagles crowd. And I tell you, it didn't matter in the first half. They booed just like it was an Eagles crowd. You heard that loud and clear. I mean, I'm not a boo. I don't boo. I never boo against my team. I'm always that guy who's like, hey, I never talk bad about the family ever. You never talk bad about the family. And you never boo because it doesn't help. It doesn't help. However, we're in Philadelphia, and I don't ever stop anybody else from booing. And sometimes when they boo, I feel like it's right on that they're doing. But
we always critique. We have to be real with our team, but I mean, the outright slander is if like you're a fan of the opposing team. That's what we really don't really care for.
Right, and that's the hard part.
Yeah.
So it's and ultimately, like I said, having a Ravens fan near me, the entire game, yelling and screaming, and of course I got people behind him, talking. It's still my cousin. You know what I mean? It's like I can't help the fact that he likes the wrong bird. You know what I mean? That somehow the parenting thing happened improperly. Somehow, like his father, who wore an Eagles tuxedo for his wedding, and has a son. His namesake is a Ravens fan. I don't understand how that worked out, but those things happen sometimes. I can't, get beyond. I'll get beyond that a little bit because ultimately, he didn't play in the game either.
Boys fan. That's all we ask. Yeah. As long as you're not a boys fan.
Yeah, exactly. Because we all know Dallas sucks. Dallas sucks. That's right. Everybody, all you Dallas fans, and you know what? All you Yinzers over there in TikTok land.
How they treat you this week?
No, they like to bust my balls all the time. And that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, I got thick skin. It just brushes right off of me. I ain't scared. I ain't scared even a little bit. Not even a little bit. But Anyways, so and like I said, it was all our second string. How about that? Like the fact that at the so they scored most of their points, obviously, in the fourth quarter. 22 points in the fourth quarter. So, the fact that he went. So I have to talk about Doug here a little bit.
I figured we would.
Yeah, because
I was
the fact I was screaming at the top of my lungs, why go for two? Why bring it down to 9 points? Why bring it down to 9 points? You just scored a touchdown. Kick the extra point. This isn't the beginning of the game. This isn't this is the beginning of the second half. You finally got it. You finally got on the board. Now we're going to go for two. You got on the board because somebody fumbled into the end zone. Because he fumbled into the end zone. You guys didn't even run in. He fumbled into the end zone. And then he got hurt.
It's pretty like he actually caught like a 60-yard bomb. It's great. It's ridiculous.
He scored a touchdown. I'm happy about the fact that he got the touchdown. Because it could have been the worst. They could have recovered it.
And that Humphreys, we knew he was going to do something. He is a fumble machine, and he got one. But luckily, we survived. JJ was awoke on that moment.
Right. I'm right. Sure. So, and that's like you said, we got the touchdown out of it. That's perfect. But ultimately, it's like to go for two there when you're down by, you get the extra point, you're down by 10. If you go for two there, you're down by 9. It's still two different scores.
Yeah, and like I just said, like you keep going for it after the first touchdown. They keep going for the 2-point conversion, and it's not like we don't have that power running game that could just automatically get you 2 yards, get you that 2-point conversion.
Definitely not now.
You don't have a Julio Jones or a Randy Moss you could just throw it up to. So like you're limited on the play calls you can actually do. So continuously going for it on the 2-point conversion. Listen, I love the ballsy Doug Peterson. I'm a fan of it, but there's just times when you just need to tone it down a notch. Just get you that extra point, and now you're 17-7 with a quarter and a half left to play.
Right, exactly. And why go for two there? You're going to be down by 9. You still have to score two goals. And ultimately, I feel like that helped cost the game. I feel like it definitely helped cost the game. It was very frustrating to deal with that, just in general. Also, another thing, Carson played his ass off. He played his ass off. All those people that are talking about that Carson, they want to see Carson Wentz out of there and Jalen Hurts. I tell you, so the only reason why I'm any bit interested in seeing a little bit more of Jalen Hurts is because how depleted the offensive line is.
Yeah, but also he created a spark in the running game. Like he was part of the reason why our offense started going. We started moving the ball with the running game that he implemented with the read options. That helped, and that created a spark. So, listen, I think Hurts, in the end of the day, throughout the season, he could be a weapon that we could use to our advantage. But, again, Carson, if he just showed you yesterday that he is the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes, and literally carried the team on his back. Specific
100%.
that 40-yard run, after getting his butt handed to him, he got hit 16 times. I don't want to hear about him getting hurt. I don't want to hear about how he's fragile. He got crushed yesterday. Crushed and got up, shook it off, and kept on going. So I don't want to hear about the fact that how
you tried getting hit by Calais Campbell. That is a big dude.
Yeah, exactly. 3 sacks. He had 3 sacks on the day. And so that's that. They just couldn't stop him. They just could not stop him. And I tell you, Lane, get better soon. Get better soon. They were hurting without you. They were hurting without you.
I'm done with your mom.
I tell you what, Brooks is going to be back. I've been watching him jump up and down like he's been jumping crazy jumps. And he's like ready. He's just about ready to come back. Yeah, absolutely. He's the best guard in the game. The best guard in the game, and he's already doing his thing. Like I was watching a video of him jumping. Like I can't even jump up 2 foot onto the thing. He was jumping up, landing, and then walking back down, and then going and jumping up and landing. Like the moment he got surgery, he was back out the next couple of days, and already fixing his he was doing taekwondo and stuff like that. This guy's a beast. And I can't wait for him to come back. He's going to be back very, very soon. Very soon.
In the next couple of weeks, you'll get Brandon Brooks back. Lane Johnson comes back healthy, hopefully.
Well, I think Brooks is not going to be able to come back until about week 10 or 11. if he comes back that early, may even be later. But I would not be surprised to see him back to get a couple of weeks in like playoff shape and then go into the playoffs after we beat Dallas. That Dallas sucks on the 27th of December. Yes, that's where we're going. We're going down there to go watch that.
But I think this is the toughest stretch that we're going to go through. We just played two teams that potentially are going to contend for the AFC title, and now you got some division foes that you can easily beat. And if you do what you got to do in these next couple of weeks, you start getting healthy, you get some players back. The end of the season might be looking pretty good, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
I agree. Just got to stick through this right now.
I agree. And we're going to go. Here we go. We're going to move on to Inside the Numbers. And this one's brought to you by Wi-Fi, gluten-free, awesome internet, serving Wilmington, only $55 a month for internet service. Wi-Fi, gluten-free, awesome internet. So Carson Wentz, 21 for 40, 213 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, even though they tried to give us one. No picks, 84.7 quarterback rating, 6 sacks. And he leads the NFL in the sack department. He's been getting sacked more than anybody else. 16 times being hit. 16 times being hit. So he also had 49 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. And I tell you what, we're going to bring in, since we're talking about the numbers, we're going to bring in Bobby. Bobby is my cousin here, and he is also a Ravens fan. So, and welcome to the show, Bobby. Come on in. We got to slip in here.
How we doing here, man?
Pleasure
to meet you.
It's Bobby, and this is John, Parcero, Philly. And I had to sit with him all game long. Yep. And he's yelling and screaming. People behind us, and we're not even talking about the cardboard cutouts. Everybody, the real people behind him. From the moment he was standing up, they're like, sit down. I can't see around you. You know what I mean? It was like they were giving him a hard time. And I was like, all right, I'll go down the road so that I can get out of the way. Which is how they sound. That's how they found me. I was in a row by myself. I wasn't supposed to be there, but they didn't stop me. They don't stop the Philly sports guy. So, and tell us what you saw. I mean, he was cheering a lot, in the beginning of the game. And then, of course, he was excited. He was starting to get a little nervous at the end. He was. Oh, yeah. He was. Oh, yeah. So, and I tell you what, he was calling all the guys by first names. He's like, yo, Mark, great catch. Doing all those things. So he knows a lot about the Ravens. So I wanted to bring him in. So he could talk about. What were your thoughts on the game yesterday?
They played a great game for the first 2.5 quarters. 2.5 quarters, maybe 2 3/4 quarters. They looked incredible. They were up 24-6. I personally, when Lamar Jackson broke that, I think it was a 37-yard run. I thought the game was over. I'm not going to lie. I thought that was the nail in the coffin, because up until that point it was 17-6, and the Eagles didn't really show much of any kind of life at all. So when he broke that 37-yard run, in my heart I was like, okay, that was the nail in the coffin. That was the one that was going to put him away. And then all of a sudden, man, it was like the defense kept blitzing, but Carson Wentz, I got to give him credit. I guess he started reading the blitzes, and he started just throwing the ball in the perfect spots. He was scrambling. I mean, Calais Campbell had his way with that day. He was 3 sacks. Oh my goodness, he was having his way. But for the most part, the Ravens looked good until, like I said, about 3/4 of the way through the third quarter, and then Carson Wentz just started being the quarterback that they paid like $100 million for. So he started looking like it,
Now, let me ask you though, because usually when we watch the Ravens, now obviously the only team that really seems to be able to beat you is the Chiefs and then the Titans on that one occasion, right? Yeah. So what was it that happened in that middle of that third quarter? Because usually I see you guys beating down on teams, and then somehow the Eagles get this new life.
Well, I personally, it's been something that I've been noticing in the Titans game last year, and then for the first 6 games this year. I don't know why the Ravens are doing this. They seem to be trying to turn Lamar into more of a passer. Last year, I saw a stat that said last year they were calling about 52% runs and 48% passing plays, which is plays more to Lamar's strength, obviously.
Yeah.
This year, they're leaning more. As of now, they're at about 55 pass and 45% run.
Okay.
So they're trying to throw the ball more, and they're trying to make him, become not a pocket passer, but more of a thrower.
Gotcha,
and that's just not his strength. When you start throwing the ball instead of running the ball, Jamie heard me the whole game. I was saying, run the ball, especially when they had the 24-6 lead. I'm like, don't become the Falcons here. Run the ball, drain the clock. And they kept trying to throw it, and it was incomplete. Lamar was throwing the ball away, and it was saving. And that's what I think saved the Eagles in terms of giving them enough time to at least come back a little bit.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you bring up, because I do think that Lamar eventually is going to need to rely on more than just his legs. But for right now, he's still young. Just let him work on his instincts. When you got a quarterback like that, you don't want to mess with that. Right. You really don't.
So just to go over his numbers real fast, he was 16 for 27 for 186 yards. Did throw that one touchdown. That was a lucky throw. I mean, it was like he was all blocked in. Happened to see one guy. He's like, oh, yep, just tossed it to him. It was a really 108 yards rushing, obviously, and the one touchdown that really, I think that was the last touchdown that he scored. I think it was one of the.
Well, that's what we were talking about, too. Like, when we were talking about breaking down this game is how are we going to neutralize Lamar? Because obviously we know our weakness has been the linebacking core in that defense. It's the biggest weakness that we have right now.
Well, and I thought they did pretty well for the most part. He had a couple of big runs. That one touchdown run that was like a 20-yard run where he just went right up the middle, and then the 37-yard run. What happened after the 37-yard run, that they were right past midfield. Next thing you know, it was first down and 35. So they never did anything after that run until once he ran in for the end zone in the fourth quarter. But ultimately, I mean, that's where they started, and it was like that play or those series of plays, because in the first quarter, which is what angered me, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, and both times they could not get off the field. Wow. And both times were done by passes, not runs. He's got 2 passes to do that. That
Jim defense, they allow too many exploits. That's how it's been like that for the past 4 years that we've had Jim Schwartz.
So and now, like I said, you looking at it on the opposite side where he gets to see me yell and scream and get him, I want the ball, and doing all that fun stuff. So what was your experience like being back in the stadium, even like COVID free? You're with 3 Eagles fans, one who's a crazy Eagles fan, and then having Eagles fans all around you. What was your experience in the stadium?
I mean, for the most part, it was pretty good, except for, the guy that was like 10 seats over in the row behind us, he on his 6th beer, and he was just cussing at me and yelling at me every time. I wasn't even insulting him. I was just cheering for my team. But, it's just when it comes to Philly, and trust me, I've been to the other Ravens games when they played the Eagles in Philly, and it's been the same. They don't care. They don't care. If they see you rooting for anybody except the Eagles, they're going to chew you out. They're going to call you names. I'm not going to say what he was calling me because I can't, but what I'm saying is,
you can imagine.
Right.
He cursed one time, and I turned and I'm like, no, you don't. He's like, I only did it because he did it to me. I'm like, no, I don't care. I can't defend you against everybody else. Yeah, because when anybody goes with me, listen, I'm big against fans against bullying, fans against violence. You're going to wear other colors. You're going to get yelled at a little bit. You got to come with a little bit of thick skin. But nobody's going to beat up anybody that I go with. So, and that's, and that guy knew that too. You know what I mean? That guy definitely knew that. But
yeah, but it was great. Sorry, my voice is still gone from arguing with them so much.
He's a newbie at this. Where I'm screaming and carrying on, and you still hear me loud and proud.
Right. Well, I had to yell. The Eagle Stadium is one of the loudest that I've ever been to. I've been to a couple different places. I've been to the Washington Football Team Stadium. I've been to the Ravens Stadium. I've been to, believe it or not, Cleveland Stadium, and now the Eagle Stadium, obviously. But the fans are by far the craziest. I'll tell you that right now. And you would think that Cleveland's crowd would have been crazier, but because it's the Ravens, they're like the rival, but it actually wasn't. But anyway, it was great being back in the stadium. Yeah. That was the greatest part. It felt so good. I didn't care for the most part that it was the Eagle Stadium. Just to be back in a stadium, going through all this COVID stuff, it felt good to finally be back. Amen. In a stadium, an NFL stadium. I loved it.
And that's the exciting part about that. Like that was the most fun for me. You know what I mean? That I was back in there. Obviously, they showed me on the big screen. They showed me on TV. I made Barstool Sports. All that fun stuff. It didn't matter because I would rather take the win. They always like showing the handsome guys on TV. So that's why I get a lot of TV time. But it doesn't matter. I would trade all of that in to have won 31 to 30. That's how I would have rather done. And who do you guys play next?
We actually have a bye this week, and then we go home to play Pittsburgh.
Oh, you Yinzers. All you Yinzer haters. I got tons of Yinzer haters. Tons of them. Crosby still sucks. And then you guys got the Ravens coming.
I can see. Look at that comment. It's a bunch of yellow and black Steeler.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place. They're all over the place.
Either like I'm coming here.
So it'll be interesting. You guys are going to have to go to Baltimore and see how you guys do out there. Well, I tell you, I really do appreciate you coming in and talking a little bit about the Ravens. Of course. And like I said, maybe we'll have you come back a little bit later in the season just to hear about how the Ravens beat the Steelers. You Yinzers suck. But anyways, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Pleasure, guys.
All right.
Go Ravens.
Yeah, you see, you always got to get the last word in, but not with the Philly sports guy here. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. So, anyways, and like I said, you know what? The same thing with the adjustments. The one last thing I want to add into this part was the defensive adjustments were actually a lot better in the second half. They really had a harder time moving the ball. They did only go 6 for 16 on third down conversions, which was pretty good, with 2 of the third down conversions happening right in the beginning of the game. So you take those 2 away for the last. Other than that first drive, they went 4 for 16 or 4 for 14 on third down, which is a much better thing to do. I like that. I felt that they did a lot better. So that's why I feel like a lot of this rests more on Doug than on the defensive coordinator. I know that they scored 30 points. That one turnover, that short field makes things difficult, but they weren't able to drive the ball down the field. Beyond that first drive, they were not able to drive the ball down the field. So, and that's what I kind of like about this. So, all right, moving forward, we're going to talk about Around the Horn, and that's brought to us by Philly Sports Trips. And, of course, they are partnered with me to go down to Dallas for Week 16 game versus the Cowgirls. And they're about to start playing here a little bit. I just saw a thing of CD Lamb on the TV. They're going to get beat by the Goofy Birds, those Red Birds out in Arizona, the Cardinals. So let's
go Cardinals, huh?
Yeah, I'm rooting. I'm a Birds fan tonight. So, but anyways, and like I said, if you're going to find them, go to phillysportstrips.com. Trips Dallas. Go check them out. And like I said, let them know the Philly Sports Guys sent you. We're going to send you a nice gift by letting you know that the Philly Sports Guys sent you. Anyways, starting off with the most important games, and there's not a lot of them this week. The Giants, the G-Men, Sneaky G, I'm coming for you, baby. Oh, yeah. But anyways, the Giants they broke their cherry. And they got a win against the hapless, Washington team. I tell you, I don't know why the coach isn't getting transfusions every week in the second half, because they only seem to play. But anyways, I hope he's doing better in that respect. I ain't trying to make fun of cancer, but I just am making fun of that team for not coming out to play ever. They only had that one good half of football. So they lost 20-19 on a 2-point conversion that they blew.
We'll talk about them in a second. Too.
Right. And Big Dick Nick beat the Panthers 23-16. How about that? And I heard that he took over Chicago this week with a tweet or something. he went live and went crazy. So good for him.
I saw that. I heard in his press conference this morning that they put on Dreams and Nightmares, and he got a little excited. He got a little excited. He got a little throwback to 2017.
He got a little chubby.
I ain't a little chubby.
Yeah, whatever. And the Tampa Bay Brady's. Oh my Lord, they spanked the Green Bay in the Bay of Pigs. 38-10. It was. I mean,
did you see that coming?
No, I did not. I went in there and it was 28-10 before halftime, and I'm saying, what's going on?
They were clicking. Everything was clicking, and their defense is very underrated. That defense can compete, and I think that's what's going to separate them. But that was definitely surprising.
The fact that Brady outdueled Rodgers was something interesting to watch. How about the upset of the week? This threw a lot of people out of their suicide pool, I'm sure. The 49ers 24, the Rams 16. That was Sunday night. I didn't even watch that game because it didn't matter to me. Leaving a little bit. I wasn't even caring a little bit. But obviously people got a little crazy, for the 49ers. I guess they're all angry because they lost out of their suicide pools now. The other most important game that I mentioned, and I ain't mentioned about how the Falcons won their first game. PU, they beat a stinky Vikings team, and the Vikings still almost came back and beat them.
You know why Philly sports fans were watching that, right?
Well, for Jefferson, Mr. Jefferson with the 2 touchdowns. That was the only thing that I noticed. He had like 166 yards and 2 touchdowns because he reminds me every Monday about Jefferson.
It's these fans that tell me that, hey, Justin Jefferson's doing stuff and Jalen's sitting. I'm like, what do you want me to do? You want me to give my niece or give my whatever is hurt on Jalen
right.
Lamb?
Yeah, you put me out there, I can catch the ball. I got big hands and I can catch the ball. Trust me. Put me out there. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
You know why I highlighted though? It's because we suck at drafting receivers. And every time you see a guy like that, a Brandon Ayuk, a Claypool, that's just what Eagles fans are going to talk about.
And Claypool actually did okay again this week. He actually rushed for a touchdown. He didn't catch a touchdown, but he rushed for a touchdown. And the other game, like I said, the Broncos beat the Patriots 18-12. The only reason why I even bring this up, this is the first time the Patriots have been under 500 in October since 2002. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? So, and that really speaks a lot, whether it's whether it's Belichick, whether it's all of it. You know what I mean? So it's interesting that's happened that way. And I still wouldn't count them out of going to the playoffs. Absolutely. So, and then moving to our next one. Look at this. We're all high tech now. You're seeing all this stuff. This is all great for me. I really do appreciate all this stuff now. Yeah, and we're looking ahead, and this is brought to you by King Creative. You want your story to roar, you go to the Blue Lion. King Creative. Every story has an audience. And I tell you, so we're playing the Giants. And I have said for weeks that our season does not begin until we play the Giants. And now it's time. It's my birthday game. Because everything before the day of my birthday doesn't count. It's after my birthday that it matters. So, and last year, and trust me, I still feel it, the Cowgirls stomped us on my birthday. On my actual birthday. Yeah, and the kickoff, they fumbled. Or something like that. The first play, they fumbled or something. And the Cowboys took over from there. It was 14-0 before 2 minutes was up in the first quarter. It's like, and it went just downhill from there on my birthday. That ain't happening this birthday, baby. The Giants are going down. And let's go. So, of course, the Giants are 1-5. They are third in the division right now because they happen to beat the Redskins. The football team. And the Eagles lead the all-time series 85, 83, and 2. This is going to be the 179th.
A lot of games between these two teams.
Yeah, 180th game or 179th game between these two teams or something like that. It's, and like I said, the Eagles have won the last 7 games against the Giants. The last time that the Giants beat the Eagles was back when Carson Wentz was a rookie in that first game of the season, and that was that. After that,
it's an interesting rivalry because obviously when we think about the Giants and Eagles, we think of New Jersey, right? How New Jersey's broken up into North and South Jersey. North Jersey always being Giants territory, South Jersey always being Eagles territory. So it's always interesting because maybe your neighbor is a Giants fan and you get to talk a little crap, but like you said, like it just always feels when we play the Giants, we're in a bad situation. We need a win. And we get a big win over the Giants, and our season just kicks off. It just seems the way it is. And, like, this is the moment right here. Like, I hate throwing must win, but, like, we're 4-1 Philly sports guy. And we have a Giants team who, again, like, we've had a lot of injuries, obviously, but we are still the better team, I would feel like, because the Giants have gone through their injuries, too. They've lost a couple of players there, too. So,
well, their biggest one being Saquon Barkley. So, the defense has actually been playing a little bit better. So they've been able to hold teams to less points, because obviously their offense can't really score much, and that's a big deal.
I will say what worries me about the Giants offense is that Daniel Jones has been struggling a little bit this season. Obviously, bad offensive line, not a lot of weapons, but if they can find a way to just steal a little bit out of the Steelers playbook, getting that quick passes out of his hands, those slants, those screens, that's probably one way that they could stop us. And I hope that Jim Schwartz is prepared for that type of stuff.
Well, and so there's a couple things I learned today.
Okay.
One, Daniel Jones is fourth in the NFL in rushing. Fourth in the NFL for quarterbacks rushing. Maybe that's a better way of putting that. So he's been running the ball some. He ain't the best passer in the world. I keep calling him Pick Six Daniel Jones. That ain't by that's a habit, because when they picked him as Pick Six Daniel Jones, the first thing I talked to was a Giants fan, and they laughed. They kind of laughed. He says he kind of looks like he would be playing Eli Manning in the Peyton Manning movie. You know what I mean? So
he reminds me a lot of Eli too. It's so funny.
So, and that's why I feel like that it's just perfect, because he is never going to beat the Eagles. I'm sure I say that he's never going to beat. He'll beat us on occasion. Every dog's got their day every once in a while, but not anytime real soon. It's definitely going to be, a little bit more involved. He's got to figure out a lot different thing than that. So, and Eagles, like I said, the Eagles have 7 straight wins against the Giants. And I tell you, history repeats itself. It's going to happen again. We go and we're at home and we got to right the ship. It's time now. It's time, because you're correct. If we lose this game, it becomes a much bigger deal.
Yeah.
You have to the sense of urgency for this game has got to be paramount. Has to be paramount. We have to win this game. There is no second thoughts about it.
I mean, yeah, so I agree. Like, we can win. We will win this game. Obviously, the main difference for me is Carson Wentz, and that's really all I need to know that we're going to win this game. But, of course, it does concern me that we're not going to have Miles Sanders in this game. We're not going to have Zach Ertz in this game. At running back, you're going to go with Boston Scott, which
no, did you hear? No. You know who's going to be their lead back?
What are you throwing at me here?
Jalen Hurts.
They're going to put Jalen Hurts at running back.
He's going to be the lead back. He's going to be the lead back. How interesting is that? At one point, we'll have 3 quarterbacks on the field, probably for most of the game. 3 quarterbacks on the field.
Mind's going to go crazy.
So, I mean, Jalen Hurts is going to be the lead back.
So this is going to be one of those games where Doug is just going to throw crazy crap out there.
I think
see Carson Wentz go off.
This is going to be like backyard football, where you're going to be drawing up plays in the dirt type stuff. That's what's going to happen.
Hooking ladders and everything.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, you saw them through the double throw. The double pass. Where it was kind of goofy how they did it. Hey, let's throw it over to Carson. Let him look downfield. Let's throw it back to Jalen. I thought he was ready to throw it again back down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how close it looked that they could have pulled that off. It was interesting. It was interesting. It was only a 2-yard play, but realistically, Carson had more time to wait to be able to throw it back down the field. I think that was the design of that play. It was the goofiest screen pass that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because that's all that it wound up being. But it was very interesting to watch that, and I could expect that to happen.
Let me ask you: do you think that we should look to find something else out there for running back? Like go out and maybe make a trade for Frank Gore, or Jordan Howard's not getting any time with Miami Dolphins. I know he's been inactive, which is a little bit of a concern. I think Carlos Hyde is still out there. Like, wouldn't you want to take a waiver on some of these guys?
No. I just because I don't trust all those names right now. Like, so Jordan Howard, maybe I would sniff him. But if I had to trade something with him, I think Miami's still butthurt from the trades that we made with them a couple years ago. But they're going to pull that up again. You know what I mean? They're going to bring that up, and they're going to try to get more for them what he's worth. So my thought is that you can't do that. There are a couple of people that are definitely on the sidelines. I mean, there was the one guy who used to play for Seattle, then went to the Jets. And I wish I could remember his name off the top of my head. No.
On the Eagles.
No. He's not on the Eagles. He's sitting there. He's sitting. He's not doing anything right now. But he was a Seattle Seahawk when they went to the Super Bowl, and then he went over to the Jets. Okay. And anyway, neither here nor there. I know that he's still sitting. They have Clement, and Clement's not been getting a lot of play time. You know what I mean? But you ain't got nobody else, though. That's the problem. You ain't got nobody else. So it's time to start using these guys. You're going to have to get very creative. They're going to have 2 starters. 2. Kelsey and Wentz. That's it. 2 starters on offense. So all you Yinzers who like to give me crap that it was our practice squad, I told you it was our practice squad. We had maybe 4 or 5 guys out there. Yeah, now we're down to 2 guys. So all you Yinzers, Crosby sucks, by the way. I mean, you guys are lucky because you're playing crap teams. Once the Titans stomp your butts this week, then you'll realize, oh, man, you guys will all start going nuts. And then I'm going on all your pages with some hate because you guys love to hate on me. But anyways, that's neither.
Who's going to play tight end? Crew?
Hey, he got a touchdown, didn't he? He was open for hours.
He was wide open. He literally was on an island.
He was over there and literally stood there. He was like, hi. Well, he finally did throw it out there. And, of course, then there's nobody around. You ain't got nothing to do except catch the ball. I tell you.
Because Hightower, we could say the same.
Oh, man, I want Quez Watkins. Every time he's on
I have an idea. Why not put him at punt return?
I don't know why they're not.
I love Greg Wood, but Greg Wood's not a punt return. Give Quez has got the speed. We clearly see he's got the speed. Or even put Hightower there. Give me someone who's got speed back there.
I don't trust Hightower to catch a ball. I don't trust him to catch a ball.
He'll muffle that.
Yeah, so I would rather Quez Watkins. I'd rather see him out there. He made it out there for like 4 plays. Why? Only 4 plays? Why not put him out there? He's a burner. And of course, Greg Ward, I like Greg Ward. But he hasn't been getting any throws.
What? I mean, I guess who was on him? Because I had the same question. He didn't have a big game. What do we have? How many catches do we have for Greg Ward here? 3 catches.
Yeah.
Or 2 catches, sorry.
How many times was he targeted? 3 targets. Right, exactly. So that's telling me he's a slot guy. And he's not getting the attempts, which really kind of bothers me in the grand scheme of things. But all right, whatever. You know what I mean? So get Quez Watkins out there. I want to see him out there.
More targets than JJ too, Quez Watkins.
Right. Yeah, and of course that one play that they targeted him when he blew past the Steelers, because it was man-on-man coverage, blew way past him, and then what? Nothing. They haven't gone back to him since then, and that bothers me. That really does bother me. I don't know why they continue not to use him. I want to see him out there more, and maybe they're not going to have a choice. Maybe they are not going to have a choice whatsoever. So, and anyways, as we're getting down to the final bit of our show here, what do you got going on? I know that the Union are playing right now.
They are playing right now. I'm waiting for after the game, but we are playing right now up in New England, Robert Kraft Stadium. That's
Robert Kraft Stadium.
As I like to call it. His little side project doesn't even care about, but yeah. So they are playing right now,
and it's 0-0 in the 34th minute.
All right.
So don't worry, they beat New England. Yeah, I'm not. The Revolution
The Eagles and the Union both are in New England.
Absolutely. So the only thing I have to talk about is it's my birthday tomorrow. It is my birthday. I'm going to be 48 years old. I know I look a lot better than half of you kids out there. You know what I mean? But that's okay. That's why they show me on TV all the time. It's something this handsome. It's really hard to keep off the television screen. So I get it, But anyways, like I said, we're going to be having a birthday party at Dolan's Bar in Ridley Park on Thursday for the game. I tell you, if you ever wanted to come party with the Philly Sports Guy, this is going to be the time to do it. The party's going to start at 7. We're going to do a quick little show at 7:30, a little pregame show. Not going to be very long. It's going to be one of those things where we're just going to get on there, get ourselves all psyched up for the game. Probably like a little 20-minute, half-hour show. Just talk about how we're going to get ready to stomp the Giants all over the field, because that's what's going to happen, baby. And so definitely come out. And I heard there might be a couple of other super fans that show up that come to my birthday party. And I also heard little Birdie was telling me that there might be some Eagles that used to play that obviously are not going to be, anybody on the team not going to be showing up because they're going to need every bit of little help that they can get. But I heard that some like a tank might be showing up. I can't confirm or deny that, but a tank might be showing up to this game. Showing up for my birthday. So I can appreciate stuff like that. That's a lot of fun to have. So it is. So real quick, obviously the Dodo Birds of Arizona are going to be playing the Cowgirls. Nobody really cares about this game other than the fact that we all want Arizona to win because, the Cowboys suck. We know that. Dallas sucks. Out loud. PU. But anyways, tonight's game is -1. The Cowboys are a 1-point favorite, and the over-under is 55.
That's crazy, actually. I know that Andy Dalton is still like a viable option QB for the Cowboys, but I still like the Cardinals in this situation. The Cowboys defense is still terrible, and I think that Kyler and this offense is going to show out.
I agree. I think that the Cardinals defense is going to be what wins this game. It's going to be a little bit like I expect it to be like a middle type of game. Oh, hold on. Update. Union scored a goal. And
let's go, baby. That was an own goal. I love it. We're here for own goals.
Yeah, exactly. Love it when they kick it back to the goalie and the goalie misses. That's definitely a New England thing. So, all right. But so the Union are up 1-0. As of right now, the Union are still the best football team in the city right now. So I definitely like the Cardinals in this game. Yeah. And so if I'm going to give what I think my score prediction for the Eagles game this week, I think that they're going to put it all together, but it's going to be a closer game than you expect. Okay. I think that the Eagles win this game. I think that the Eagles actually win this game like 31-27. Wow. Okay. I don't think I'm not trusting the defense yet. I don't think, and I think it's going to be won on a pick six. Pick six, Daniel Jones. I've said it from the moment that it might be Slay's first.
Slay day, I'm here for it. Let's go.
Yeah, so it might be Slay's first. Or my man. And I tell you, I would only want him to give me the ball, but it could be the Green Goblin. I'm still on your team, brother. You're still my man. You know what I mean? Like I said, we have the same color hair, so I'm definitely pulling for you. I'd love for you to be the one that gets that pick six.
It's you, Jalen, and Gio, the Green Goblins.
Yeah, Gio the man. Gio's the man, and we all got the green hair, so that's awesome. So listen, let me go. Just again, thank all of our sponsors: Tonic Seafood and Steak, Y-Fly, Philly Sports Trips, and King Creative. Thank you so much. Hey, we're week 6 in the books. And like I said, we'll be back again next week. We're going to be back on Monday, even though the game's on Thursday. We'll be talking about how, of course, a Birds win and quite possibly first place again. because when the Cowgirls lose tonight, Thursday's going to be for first place. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. What is it? No, they haven't scored yet.
It just started.
They just started. So, anyways, all right. Don't worry. I ain't scared. This season ain't over yet. I didn't hear no bell. And for all you Eagles fans that are off the bandwagon, I don't want to see you guys back on the bandwagon when we're in the playoffs. Be a man. Stick behind it. This is your team. This is your team. Be a man. You know what I mean? I'm always for the Birds. I don't talk bad about the family. I don't want you guys to talk bad about the family. I ain't quit. I ain't accept no quit. Go Birds. EAGLES, Eagles. Yeah. Good night, guys.